if we don't break this cycle of going to work every day of our lives, what are we doing this for?
I need to like check myself. Wow, that many people listen to us? That's wild.
To have other Canadians, we have lucked out.
Got a comment on Spotify that told us to stop giggling, and we were like, never.
It's okay to choose whichever path you want to go down.
And so she's like, you're addicted to Airbnb.
Welcome to Where She Builds, the podcast where two globetrotting solopreneurs share the real journey of building a life and business on the move.
I'm Shandy, an online personal trainer helping people feel strong anywhere in the world.
And I'm Anna, creator of Your Travel Friend Anna, a global community and go-to resource for those wanting to live a fulfilling and culturally curious life.
Thanks for being here.
Let's dive into this week's episode. Welcome back, everyone, to the Where She Builds podcast on this lovely Tuesday. I am Anna, joined always by my co-host, Shandy. Good morning from Canada, Shandy. How are you?
Great. Good evening from the Netherlands. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually in a really good mood, although it's very dark and gloomy outside, but yeah, well, you're in the Netherlands. It's expected. It's not expected here. Unfortunately, we have the first I feel for the summer. It is summer technically, even though this episode's in September. It's still summer technically. We unfortunately have the forest fire smoke finally coming into the city, and it's smoky and cloudy and just not advised to be outside for longer periods of time. So that's what we're working with in the outdoor activity game. There is no outdoor activities right now.
That's always so sad too, because if the weather is actually nice, you want to be outside, and then you can't walk around because then it's hard to breathe, and of course, worse things where the fire is, but you're also very affected there as well. So that's really frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of anyone's control, and yes, it is a bit scary. I feel very lucky I'm in a place where the actual, disaster is happening, but I'm thinking about all those people, and it's just the firefighters have to respond so quickly, and it can spread so quickly, and wow, it's just anyway, that's what's happening in the doomy gloomy, but I'm doing good energy wise and vibes wise, but I'm a little bit panicking on the internal side of things because I leave in just over a week, Shandy,
to come see me
trip. Yes. Okay, that's like so once I think, I'm just going to see Shandy, that's all the trip is. Instant ease.
I got everything here that you need, so you can just come here.
Are you excited to have me?
I'm so excited. I keep bringing it up to Pat. I'm like, I can't wait for Anna to be here.
I was actually thinking about that. I just feel it's so nice to come and visit nomadic friends too, or people who just, obviously you're stationary in this moment, but just people who get this like working on your laptop. I went to the dentist yesterday. He could not comprehend what I do. He's like, I just don't get how you make money. Like, I just don't understand it. Why not travel and then work? And he's so open-minded, such a cool dentist. But yeah, it's nice to be with friends who get it.
Yeah, it's so funny because actually Pat and I were talking about it too. And he was like, so what does Anna all want to see when she's here? And I'm like, I don't know. We can ask her when she gets here, but I think she's going to be working a lot. Like, we're going to be working together a lot. And he's like, oh yeah, I guess she does that too. I'm like, yeah, we all do that. We're all going to work from here. We got it.
For me, I just literally want to like maybe borrow a bike at one moment and just bike around the neighborhood and just absorb it. It's just it's kind of nostalgic for me. And I want to get, I do want to get some pannenkoek. Correct me in my pronunciations. And or poffertjes.
Poffertjes, yeah.
And a fresh stroopwafel.
We can do it at the market. We have a market here at the city center that we can take you, and you can get all of those.
Pat, if you do listen to this, I would like to eat cheese, and I will be bringing some into the house to eat daily. So gouda, I will be bringing.
I'm not mad about it. I think it's delicious.
What else do I want? I might buy some hachel sprinkles. Is that what they say? Yeah.
Yeah,
just
that's
carbs
good. We
and
have
sugar.
that here.
That's all I want.
We have it here, and I love it. Actually, you know what's really good is so the people that are listening, hagelslag is essentially like sprinkles, and then what the Dutch do, they're sprinkles, and the Dutch people like to put it on their breakfast things. So what they usually do is just have like a dry piece of bread, maybe some butter, and then a hagelslag. But I really like it with peanut butter, and then you put chocolate. Delicious.
Oh, but that's like a Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's delicious.
We used to do Nutella and the fruit sprinkles. We call them the fruit or the multicolored, the pinkish ones.
That's the worst one. Those are nasty.
Yeah, but they taste good with Nutella. And then it was like the best because Mom would make your sandwich in the morning, and by the time it got to you at lunch, it was kind of melted. In a good way. I was like, I never liked eating it fresh. I liked it when it was kind of squished and melted.
You liked the soggy.
Basically.
Delicious.
So yeah, I want to cheer you guys on your race. I'm really excited about that. Also from the perspective of how cool to just be in town when obviously people who are living there are doing an event together. So I'm so excited to cheer you both on, but just, like be there and I don't know, just enjoy the run.
Also, how are your pub quiz skills?
Scheiße, which is German. I need to know that in Dutch. But I'm if it's reality TV, I am waiting for the night. A whole topic is reality TV, like Real Housewives. I'm ready, but I'm usually the one who just sits and drinks. I'm a great effort. Like, okay, I'm a very good participant, but do I bring any value or knowledge? No.
You're there for the vibe.
I'm there for the vibes. I'm there. My eyes are open, but it better be in English as well.
It is. It is in English. It is in English.
Count me in. I love them. I have so much fun. But after I went the last time with my sister and her partner just answered everything and got it all right. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep drinking here.
We've got very good beers here, so we can just drink that and it'll be fine.
I know you do, but I really like a fruity sour beer, which I just know is not. Are they coming around?
We have a brewery that's like in an old church that's in the city center here. So we got to take you there too. I'm going to add it to my list of things to bring you different places.
I mean, we're going to have to do like a crazy what are our schedules, but yeah, any free time, I'd love to just go and do something and eat out. And I'm just excited to spend time with you and see where you live, Shandy. Like,
I know.
I know you live in the Netherlands, but like to put it together and be like, oh, she really does live here.
Actually, so you used to live in The Hague, right? Den Haag?
Yes. Yeah.
So I have to go there on Monday to renew my Canadian passport, actually.
Oh
so I was thinking about you when I booked the appointment. I was like, oh, Anna used to be here. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah. Are you going to take the bus in?
I'm going to take the train.
Okay. I don't know. I remember taking a bus into Wassenaar, particularly. That's where we used to live.
Okay.
But the American School of The Hague, that was my school for a few years. So
That's so
if
crazy.
you pass that,
that's so crazy to me that you used to live here. It just like, and then that we met in Montenegro. You're from Calgary. You used to live here. Like how many times?
We're just lost sisters and we found each other now. I'm just putting it out there. Like you just had to meet someone in Malaysia so that we can both be in the Netherlands at the same time as well, you know?
Exactly.
I'm very excited to see you. I'm very excited to travel again. And I keep getting asked by friends around me, which is so beautiful. Are you excited? And I'm like, yeah, but like, I think the anticipated decision fatigue already is coming in, and I have things I need to do before I leave, like get more contact lenses. I don't have no socks, but like all my socks seem to go at the same time. Like, and I'm very particular in buying in the sense of I don't shop a lot. A lot of my clothes are hand-me-downs. And what am I packing? What season? I'm hoping to get to Southeast Asia where it's warmer. So it's weird to like start to enter fall and winter as I'm used to, but need to pack still a summer wardrobe. How many shoes am I bringing? My running shoes, they have about 300 kilometers on them. Usually it's like 5 to 8 you get new ones. So should I get new ones and bring those and leave these here? And I'm like, I don't really want to spend another $200 right now. Can I get new shoes in whatever country I'm in? These are the crazy thoughts going through my head.
I have to say, this is the perfect opportunity for pen and paper making notes.
Shandy, there's so many lists already. Like on paper, on the computer. Yes.
Oh.
And I think too, of course, I'm choosing to solo travel. I have chosen this life. I have brought this stress upon myself. But I think the idea of solo travel also is just like overwhelming me right now because I don't have those like, hey, what are you doing to somebody? What are you packing? Like, can we share shampoo?
Yeah.
These little
No,
things.
but that's totally a thing too, right? And yeah, you said that you're choosing this, but that doesn't make the tasks easier. Like there's still difficult tasks that you have to go through, and it's still decision fatigue that you're going to go through. And I think that almost makes it worse because you know that there's going to be decision fatigue coming up and you can't really do anything to prepare for it. Like you can kind of prepare your trip, but then you also don't want to be so type A, everything is set up, because you also want to kind of go with the flow with things, right? So it's really, it's that anticipation of I can't do anything right now, but in the future I'm going to have so much on my plate. And I feel for you. I totally can see that I feel a bit anxious for you.
There's something like underneath it all happening too, where I think because prior to digital nomad life, I had a very busy schedule and I was like, hey, you need to rest. And the days I was like really trying to rest, I really tried to encourage myself. And this something that's happening now where I'm anticipating a lot more energy exertion. Of course, I'm excited to see you guys. And I think we will have some chill times, but even just this,
Definitely.
like, I want to take you here. We're like 4 places in 7 days is enough when you're working as well. And so I'm like telling myself, you need to rest right now, rest, because you won't be able to. But that rest is leading to a lot of things not getting done, which will only increase stress when I start to travel. So I just need like a on myself, to get things done.
Yeah. Fair. Honestly, I had that today too. I worked all morning, all day, and then I got home. I went to a co-working spot here. I got home around 3:30, and then our recording starts at 5 p.m. And so I was like, okay, I just made 2 new programs for 2 clients, and then I had to do a reassessment evaluation for another client too. So I had to record then 6 videos that take about 10 minutes each time. And so I was like, okay, I have an hour and a half and I have about an hour worth of videos to record. So I'm doing the math. I'm like, I could just sit and watch a couple of videos on social media first. And I was like, no, Shan, you do that afterwards. So I recorded all the videos and I finished at 4:57. So I didn't have time to watch anything.
I just like mini round of applause there, Shandy. The fact that your brain was able to, you said like I'll almost reward myself after, but you did the task first. I applaud you because that ain't happening here.
Honestly, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't happen here either. But today I was very proud of that. So I'm going to push that energy over to you, Anna.
Please. It's just, I think too, I have a very open schedule right now. And in a way, this isn't helping. As you just said, I have this hour and a half. And within that period of time, what can you do? And us having this podcast recording, of course, puts something on my schedule and helps. But yeah, it's just that self-discipline to say, okay, I got to get up and go. And yes, this kind of countdown theory I've heard of as well, but it can be just overwhelming, this to-do list. And it's like a to-do list that I don't even know what's on the list. I just know there's a lot of little things. So I think I just need to keep attacking tiny tasks.
Yeah. One small thing at a time. Eat that frog.
Okay. Can I just say my mom, thanks, Mom, for listening. She's going to listen to this. She's listened to our episode and she has been eating frogs lately.
Yay! Good job, Anna's mom.
What episode was that? Maybe 7 or 9? Somewhere in there.
Or was it even earlier, I feel like? I feel like we talked about it quite early on.
Can you give a quick synopsis for people?
Yeah, essentially there's a book that's called Eat That Frog, and what they talk about is just taking your biggest task of the day and getting it done right away. Like your very first thing to do, eat it, get it done so that you can forget about it and you can move on. Because most people, Anna and I included, are always putting those things off, and then that biggest task never gets done because you keep putting it off until the end of the day, and then the end of the day comes and you put it off to the next day, and you just have this overwhelming sense of guilt and anxiety and everything. So if you just eat that frog, get it done with, then you just don't have to worry about anything. And the best thing is once that's done, then you can go and do whatever you want to do because it's done. You don't have to put it off anymore.
I got to eat a lot of frogs, but one at a time, I think. Yeah, it's a good reminder.
Eat the frog, eat the cow.
Yeah, eat the cow we said was like the evening, the last, which honestly, yes, I should just do one last evening task instead of watching just more YouTube videos. So I might have to hide my iPad and put it in iPad jail again so I'm not distracted. But I think it's leading also to me not eating as well. I'm not doing your program, Shandy. I haven't worked out in a couple days. I know. So it's so funny how like one thing can really trickle into all portions of life.
Yeah, I get it though.
Big trip.
Yeah. But it will be nice when you're here because then we can co-work together. Yeah. Well, you have to work out. But we can co-work together though. That's also nice. So then you kind of have that, it's that peer pressure in a good way, right? Because I have that too. If I'm by myself here, that's why I go to the co-working space to work with Pat a lot of the times. Because if I'm here, I do that. Oh, I have, an hour and a half worth of work that I have to do, but I do have 3 hours. So I'll just sit on my butt for an hour and a half and do nothing. Oh, and then that hour and a half, I don't have enough time to complete it anymore. So I'll just sit on my butt for 3 hours and do nothing. And it's this spiral thing. So it's really the environment, definitely, and the people that you surround yourself with definitely make a big difference too.
For sure, for sure. Speaking of big trip, we need jump topic a bit because you went to Luxembourg this past weekend.
Yes.
And how was it, Shandy?
It was so nice. It was really nice. And actually, I have to give a shout out to your group chat as well that you have, because you connected me with one of your friends that's living in Luxembourg, and she gave a tip of going to eat carrot cake at a place in Luxembourg, and it was so good.
You went?
We went. Yeah, of course we went. It was so good.
Okay, was there raisins in the carrot cake?
No.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Yes, it's really cool. Yeah, the community is your travel friend community. It's a WhatsApp community. It seems to be, I felt like summer was kind of dead. I'm expecting that now. And as we get into fall and people just have more set travel plans, I guess it's being a bit more vibrant. So I'm so glad that tip helped.
Yeah, it was really great. And it was just nice to know a little bit more about what's going on in the city. And it was super easy. And she was super friendly in the group chat and gave us lots of information. So it was really nice. I love your group chat. I think it's very helpful.
Well, thank you. And what was camping like in Luxembourg? It's not very big. So did you see it all?
Well, no, we went to a couple of different towns or like cities in Luxembourg. But then we drove through Belgium. And then we drove through Germany, actually, because there's one particular lip chap that I found in Germany that I can use because I'm allergic to perfume and anything scented. So I can't use like regular lip chap or regular anything. So I found one thing when we were in Germany a while back, a lip chap, and I bought like 6 of them and I ran out of it. So we had to drive to Germany, just over the border, but we literally drove to a different country so I could stack up on these lip chaps.
Just saying, your partner loves you. Like, can we drive across the border so I can buy some lip chap?
He was all for it, actually. He was looking up for different places because we bought out the one store. Like there was 6 of them or something, and then he drove me to a different place so that I could buy 5 more.
Where are you buying them? Just from the DM or it's a specialty store?
Yeah, the DM.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can ship them next time.
Well, probably, but it was just for the adventure. It was fun. Oh, no. Like, it wasn't that far out of the way, so it was okay.
Also, it's fun to just have, like, obviously a pinpoint of a reason to go, which made me think, I know also there's a particular mascara you like. Should I be bringing some from Canada?
Oh, that's okay. I've got it stacked up here, too.
Okay. Shannon needs to tell me what Canadian treats she wants, because I know when we used to live in the Netherlands, Mom would bring back Kraft dinner, peanut butter. I think it wasn't as big of a thing at that time. Some ketchup chips, certain barbecue chips, Smarties, coffee crisps, maple syrup.
Mini eggs. If you can find mini eggs still.
They're still, they're kicking around.
Okay. I would not be angry about
Shandy
that.
wants mini eggs. Do you need maple syrup restock? Yes.
No.
Okay, anyway.
Well, we don't really use it that much, but I mean, I'm happy with it. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Do you have any?
No.
Okay.
Well, we have like the Dutch stuff, but I don't like it so much.
No. I asked if you have any. It's the real stuff.
No, we don't have the real Canadian stuff.
Some maple syrup and some mini eggs, and I'll try and think if there's anything else Canadianized I can bring you.
I love it.
Okay.
So sweet.
Speaking of Canadians, we are talking on today's podcast with 2 other Canadian podcasters. How did you like that episode, Shandy?
I loved it. It was so fun. And it was also our very first episode where we had 2 guests. So there's 4 of us speaking. I feel like it went really well. So I'm super excited for people listening to listen and let us know what you think about it.
Definitely, definitely. So enjoy this episode with our 2 guests, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Today, we're joined by 2 coffee-loving travel pros who met in a random Facebook group and turned their mutual obsession of exploring the world into a podcast. Since 2020, this Canadian pair has been sharing tips, discussions, and the joy of experiencing new destinations. So please welcome to the show the hosts of the Travel Mug podcast, Meggan and Jenn. Welcome to Where She Builds.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
It's our
So
pleasure. We're so excited.
Yeah.
This is our first 4-person podcast.
Yeah. Have fun editing it.
I was just thinking that. I know you edit, Jen, so it's probably me. I'm going to be the worst. I got to keep my mouth closed when others are talking to reduce the editing. We're so excited to have you on the show because, yes, of course, you're fellow podcast hosts, and I had the privilege of being on your podcast. I think it was about 4 months ago already, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And to have other Canadians, we
Yeah,
have lucked
4
out
Canadians.
again. Got West to East Coast represented now on Where She Builds. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Definitely. All the accents here to meld together.
And maybe we can hear them. We'll point them out.
I know. I wonder if anyone in the comments will catch it because our international friends are probably thinking, you all sound the same.
Probably.
Canadians will know for sure. They'll be like, oh, West Coast there.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so we really want to know how you 2 met. As I said in the intro, you met in a Facebook group, which I know this story, but I don't know if
Crazy.
Shandy actually
don't
knew
know
this
it.
story.
No.
And how the Travel Mug podcast began and why a podcast too versus doing YouTube or blogging or some kind of other form of media.
Yeah.
I'll let Jen take that one away. This is her initial
Sure.
brainchild. I'll chime in, I'm sure, but
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can
yeah.
give it a go.
Oh, Megan and I met probably, I'd have to go back in like our Facebook friendship, but like it was before I was married for sure. So it's been over 10 years since we met in a random Facebook group. I will tell you, some people have said a travel Facebook group, and that is not true. Megan and I did not meet in a travel Facebook group. It was a Lululemon Facebook group.
Oh, classic
Love it.
Canadian. And Shandy just had a very Western accent.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm excited about Lululemon, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those who
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the especially the Lululemon heyday of like 2013. Anyway, Megan and I met in that Facebook group and ended up becoming friends on Facebook. And then we both just kind of like, we both like to travel. And so we would both like post stuff. And we lived in the same city, but it wasn't until like several years later that I can't remember who like messaged who. And we're like, let's meet for coffee. Let's chat. So we went to a local coffee shop and met up and just had like a really fun chat. I think we got along like really well from the get-go. And then a couple years later, I was like, I really want to start a podcast, but I don't want to do it by myself. I really want to co-host. So I was thinking about people. And at that time, I had a travel blog. I still have a travel blog. Megan used to have a travel blog. And so we kind of had that in common. And then I messaged Megan to ask her, will you start a travel podcast with me? And she didn't answer me for like months.
Ghosted.
Left on red.
Yeah, I think you messaged me back and
I
you're
did.
like, I need to think about this.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it was like 2 months later.
Yeah, like it's something I never would have dreamed of doing because I'm not that technical. So all of the things would have scared me. I never even would have thought of it. But then her asking me, I took a moment or a few months and I was just like, let's think about this for a little bit. And really the reason it took me so long is this was way outside of my comfort zone. And so I was just like, that putting my voice out there and like, because really on social media these days, you never know what you're going to get back. And so I think that sort of scared me a little bit. Still scares me once in a while, but then I thought it does scare me, so maybe that's why I should do
Oh, I
it.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
so much resemblance too between
Yeah.
like Jen. I think we are the same, and I think Meggan
And
and
Meggan and
Shandy are the
I,
same.
yeah.
I want
hope
us to
I'm as
start
funny
a
as Meggan, though.
podcast.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
You
Okay.
make me laugh, Shandy. You make me laugh. You bring humor. But I think we had this similar thing, whereas I had interest in starting a podcast. Felt the exact same thing as I didn't want to do it alone. I felt like pursuing this project was better with a partner and conversation-wise on the podcast. And so Shandy got roped into it. And same thing as Meggan. You can describe Shandy. I think you were a bit hesitant of the online factor and really putting yourself out there consistently.
I mean, 100%. Like I am online with my coach profile, but it's also very different. And then so I didn't take 2 months to respond, but I did take a while to think.
Because I asked her in person. This is
In
the
person.
secret.
But I did say I'll think about it and get back to you. So then we were chatting a couple of times back and forth, and then I think we had our biweekly call, and I said, okay, let's do it. Let's just see. And same thing what Meggan said, like I was scared a little bit of the backlash, like if we would get something, like if you said something remotely controversial and then somebody online goes, and then I'm a little bit soft at heart, so if somebody attacks me, then I'm like, oh, okay, should I just like close down my profile, don't say anything ever again? So that's what I was scared of, but I can totally resonate with Meggan on that part too. So
it's so funny what you just said, because I was just thinking to myself, I'm like too pure of heart for like the harsh internet. I was literally just thinking that to myself, because I'm just like, I'm super, I don't like sort of like controversy and whatever. And not that the Travel Mug podcast is overly controversial, but also, and we're very like, obviously, on topic, but if I never want to say anything to hurt anyone or offend anyone. And I think that accidentally doing that just scared me. But I mean, here we are 5 years later. So
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was really funny because when you finally said like, yes, I think let's talk about it. So we met up again for coffee at the same coffee shop. And it was literally 2 days before our province shut down with COVID restrictions.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that was in March. We ended up launching in June. And of course, we didn't travel anywhere far for like 2 years after starting our podcast. We're like, great, we have this travel podcast and now we're not going anywhere. That's amazing.
That's some strategic thinking there.
Yeah. But that's kind of how we kind of came about. And I think that I remember Meggan being like, what if we run out of ideas for like topics? And it's been 5 years and we haven't run out of ideas. So I think we're okay.
You're going strong.
Our planning sessions are like 10 minutes now. We're like, this seems like a good topic. This is a good guest. This is a good topic. All right, we'll see you next time. So we're still doing it that way.
It's now I think, Meggan, and you just saying that you've released this like fear of like what's online as well, because you've done it so many times already and you know nothing's happened in the past. And so, you're an expert in what you're talking about, and you can just talk about what you want to and finding topics that are exciting to you and really valuable. And you know that your listeners will be the same. So I'm really interested how the name came about, though, because Shandy and I are avid coffee drinkers as I lift up my mug. So why the Travel Mug podcast?
Yeah, we had like a document of a list of names, and Meggan actually came up with a name, but I don't remember where it came from. It
literally just came to me. Literally, I remember I was in my neighborhood and we were driving back to my apartment and I looked at my husband and I'm like, Travel Mug podcast. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, I'm like, that's what we should name it. And he's like, well, obviously you should talk to Jen. And I was like, well, obviously, but, and I don't know why, but I just think, the Tumblr craze was, at its heading toward its peak or whatnot. So I was just like, you know what? I do love a drink while I'm out on the road. So I was just, anyway, and Jen was like, cool, that sounds good. Like, she's not hard to get along with. And it makes, it makes sense, because I think, even as I record almost every episode, I'm drinking out of my mug. So like and being on the road and just having that, I don't know, trusty mug beside you is something a lot of people do. I think when they get in their car, they get on a plane, they have their water bottle, whatever the case might be.
I love
Relatable.
Yeah. I like the little finger guns too. I don't know.
That's right.
People listening, Meggan, she just came up with the Travel Mug podcast.
Yeah. That's
I love
right.
it. But so you guys have been running for 5 years already. Within that first year, of course, I feel like that's kind of one of the hardest ones. You're trying to figure out who you are, what you want to say, all that kind of stuff. What kept you going? What kept you going from year 0 to 5?
I think what kept us going in the first year is what keeps us going now is we like genuinely like talking to each other and we have fun. And I think that even if we hadn't grown our listenership, I'm sure we would have gotten discouraged if we hadn't actually grown. But I like we just genuinely like talking to each other. It's often like the highlight of my day to record with Meggan. And even though right before maybe I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't have to do this right now. You know, we usually record in the evening and it's like you've maybe had a long day at work. But as soon as I start talking to her, I'm like, this is fun. I love doing this. So yeah, I would say that's what kept me going. I don't know about
Yeah.
you, Meggan.
No, I have to say my experience is even the same in terms of like recording days. I'm like, oh, it's been a long day. Like we each have a 9 to 5. And I'm like, all right, I have to go do this. And then we both get on and I'm like, hey, and like and I forget about all the other stuff. And like, we just have fun, talking to each other. And honestly, when we're recording, I don't think about who's going to listen to it. I don't think about how many listens we're going to get or downloads or whatever. I just have fun talking to her and like, come what may after that, we're just doing something that we enjoy. And I think, that's the secret to life in general, if you can find it.
Yeah.
And my grandpa always told me, he's like, if you can find work that doesn't feel like work, it's not work. And I've tried to still embed that. He was like a sailor man, so he was off on boats and living life as he wished. But
But I
yeah,
think you can feel that though too. Like if you're listening to your podcast or listening to this podcast, you can hear that we're all passionate about what we're doing. And so that passion comes through how you say your words, how you get excited about a story, and then that makes it exciting to listen to too. So I can totally understand just listening to you guys talk right now how you lasted 5 years.
Yeah, and I think even too, like we're very different people. Like we're different travelers, we're different age group. We come from different places, all of the things, but somehow obviously you just meet people in life and you're like, you're my person. Like it just makes sense, even if it's just accidentally in a Lululemon buy and sell Facebook group.
I think that's so, I just love how
Serendipitous.
you met. Yeah, it's very serendipitous. It's my favorite Portuguese word, which is serendipidade. I think it's fun to say. And I think it
Yes.
resonates with this whole travel thing too, about making travel friends and like this concept of you're going to probably meet people in the most unique way that could become your
Yeah.
best friends. And this is an example of that. You would have never thought, Jen, that you'll find your podcast host in a Lululemon shared Facebook group like so long ago, and then at the time of the pandemic happening, like none of that could have been planned or strategized. And it's just beautiful. And we should mention that you do both work 9 to 5 jobs, so this is how should we define it? A side project, a side business, side hustle? What's your favorite terminology to describe it?
No, I guess I would call it a project. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a
call it
business.
passion project.
No, it's
Yeah.
a full business.
Yeah.
Shandy and I
Yeah,
are
no.
trying to we started the season 1 of our podcast with Big Ball Energy, we called it. And so I think if any male was in this room, they would be like, oh yeah, it's my second business. Like,
Yeah.
And it is a business for you both because you're dedicating time, energy, resources, strategy, efforts, connections, networking, the list goes on. So you have a business, just remember. And just because money may not be like flowing in rivers, like just so fast, it's definitely a business. So how do you manage running your business of the podcast with your 9 to 5 jobs as well?
Yeah, so I mean, I have a day job which I really really enjoy, and so that's a pleasure as well. And then this honestly is evenings and weekends for me. Sometimes a lunch break I'll slide over to this computer and do a few things or whatever, but yeah, like it's just I make the time for it because I want to do it. And the reason I call it a passion project is because it's easy for me to want to do. Sure, at the end of a long day, sometimes you don't want to do anything. So it's not the podcast. I just don't want to do anything. But I think that juggling it is because I want to juggle it.
Yeah, for sure. When we started this podcast, I was fully self-employed. So I had more time to dedicate to doing it than Megan did because I didn't have a 9 to 5 at that time. I do have a 9 to 5 now. So it is like a little bit more difficult. I also went back to school at the end of January last year. So that was a little bit hairy as well to like fit all of the things in. But you just make it work. And we have just made it work.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
Jen's way more ambitious than me. She's got the entrepreneurial spirit. She's got the ambition. I'm old and partially dried up, so I'm just like, you go, girl.
Oh my God.
I was like, you make hay while the sun is still shining.
Meggan, I swear your next chapter of life is comedic stand-up. I'm not kidding you. I'd come see you perform for sure. It comes so naturally to you, and it's hilarious, and it's clean humor too, I have to say, which is what makes me laugh so hard. Always.
Well, thank you.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, and you're not partially dried up. Let me clarify.
You don't see my
lots of life-
skin in the morning. You don't see it. I look airbrushed.
You're putting on the
I've
lipstick
discovered-
filter.
I put on lip balm, and I've discovered Korean skincare, so I'm all over it. I'm giving it my best.
Ooh. This could go sideways real quick, this podcast. Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
Okay, bring it back. Sorry, humor here. One thing I wonder, and Shandy and I clearly have to deal with this because Shandy's in the Netherlands currently, and I'm recording in Canada. So we are always playing the time zone game. How do you guys manage when one of you is traveling and preparing for that chunk of material maybe needing to be recorded ahead of time, and just making sure the workload is balanced and the workflow between you two?
Yeah, I was like, we never record while the other one is traveling, basically ever. There's been twice, I think, that I've recorded with a guest on my own, and Megan was traveling or busy or unable to make it. But generally, we just work around our travel schedules. Like we said, we both work 9 to 5. We both take trips that are usually like 2 weeks at the maximum. So it's pretty easy to like work around the travel schedules. Sometimes that does mean that we're recording, a bunch of episodes in advance to be released later. But in general, that's how we handle it. I think that it works pretty well.
It does. Like we're definitely not in the same situation as you both. We're such different time zones and stuff. So it does make it easier for us to juggle. And but there have been like 1 or 2 instances where we've looked at our schedule and we're like, well, no one's going to be here during this time and we have to release an episode. And so they were like scrambling to like get it written and like, our topic ready and stuff. So there have been a few times, but we've never had to record while the other's away. It's just the luxury of the 9 to 5 same time zone and literally that finite amount of vacation time.
Yeah. And we have like randomly traveled at or around the same time, like not on purpose.
Yeah.
Just in sync.
Yeah, so it like works out. It's like, oh, we're both away these 2-week chunks, so we'll just do it before and after, and it's all good. So we release a longer episode every 2 weeks, and then on the off week we have a really short. We call them Travel Tip Tuesdays. They're like 7 minutes or less generally. So we record our longer episode and the Travel Tip Tuesday all in one recording so that it's easy to just edit and schedule them out that way.
Nice. Batch working. Love it.
Efficiency. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. And we're in the same time zone normally. So we used to live in the same city. I moved about an hour and a half away from her, but we're still in the same time zone. So that makes it easier.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys have probably had a ton of guests on your podcast now. What would you say are the characteristics of a great guest versus a more challenging guest? Have you ever had a challenging guest? I guess I should preface this for.
They both like tilted their head at the same time.
In my opinion, no, we've not really had a challenging guest. I would say any type of challenge that I've ever experienced in that regard is either not an easy flow of conversation such as this one. So like, yes, we have prepared questions that we send out in advance because we want to make sure that people are able to prepare. I just think that's a courtesy, but I like it when we can sort of expand on those or dive a bit deeper, and it doesn't always happen. Or I'm sure I'm a little guilty of this at times, like over talking. So like talking too long. And then, I mean, I don't edit, so it's not as much of a problem for me, but for Jenn, but for Jenn, like, so just sort of trying to get back into the conversation as the host. So I would say, but I mean, no one that we've had on has it ever been a true challenge in any real regard. Jenn, what would you say?
No, I would agree with that. We've definitely had guests where there was like less chemistry and guests where there was more chemistry. And that's just how things
People.
work. Yeah, you're not going to like have chemistry with every single person. I would say the challenging part sometimes comes after the episode when we're trying to arrange promoting the episode. And sometimes guests aren't as receptive to that, which is fine. But I think that we want to have people on our podcast who share the show with their audience and have like a mutually beneficial relationship. And that's not always what they want. So we might have to do sometimes a better job of, talking to them in advance about the expectations. But yeah, I would say that 99.9% of our guests have been amazing and lovely, and we've had a great time.
Yeah, I didn't think that you guys had any, like, you're such lovely people that I couldn't imagine you bringing someone on that was, like, different in energy completely. But I can understand those who are a little bit less talkative or just not those kind of complex sharers. And you can't just say, yeah, I love my business. You have to, like, share about it and talk about it. And yes, I can agree in the post production, the kind of PR part of the podcast. And I think Shandy and I are exploring too. I don't know if you have any insight into this about what is the podcasting world in terms of PR, I guess. So we've heard from one side of the field that people should be paying to be on a show in terms of they're given a platform to advertise themselves, to maybe promote a product or a service. And then on the flip side, people are saying, well, no, you should be paying guests to be on the show because they're filling your show up. So I don't know if you have any perspective on that, how you view it. Is it something you're thinking about or would ever think about as well?
I think for me personally, for our podcast, like I want it to be like a mutually beneficial relationship. I want them to come on our podcast and have like a great conversation with us that's interesting to our audience. And on the flip side of that, I want them to share it with their audience so that they, get more PR, but also people might discover us and think, oh, they're really fun. Like, what else have they done? I personally would never charge to have someone on my podcast. And I also wouldn't be a guest on a podcast where they were charging me to come on. So that's just, I don't feel like that's my jam. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, like, to be really frank, if our listenership was way high, I mean, who knows? And this was our full-time gig, that would be a different story to me.
Yeah.
But because of the way we are with our podcast and are doing it because we enjoy it so much, we just want other people to find the joy in it. So I think, because we have full-time jobs and what are doing this for enjoyment, that's not really something we've ever even thought of. But I certain no shame if someone is, it's just not what we're doing, I guess is what I would say.
We're not either, to clarify.
No.
But I
There's
guess
not going to be like a surprise invoice or anything. Don't worry.
No, I was waiting for a direct deposit, but I guess I'll...
Yeah.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay.
She is bringing the big ball energy.
Yeah. Okay, Meggan, didn't know that you were the boss here, though. I thought Jenn ran the show. I'm just kidding.
She does. She does. I'm literally just her liege, I promise.
It's good to know, though, because I think, of course, Shandy and I just started this podcast, so it is something that when we're hearing these buzz components and these buzzwords, I'm like, should we be doing any of this? And I think for us as well, we see it as being a mutually beneficial thing. We have joy. I love that I get a chance to talk with you and other guests and just hear their stories, hear what is going on and experience things. But who knows if we were like 1,000 times in numbers, right, what should we be doing? And I think maybe that goes to how people are presenting themselves as well. So if they wanted to specifically come on and talk about a topic, and we wanted to shape a certain conversation around some kind of product or service or a topic, then maybe if there's some lack of creative exploration or freedom, then maybe it would be something where it's like, hey, you're not letting us do what we want to do. You can pay us for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it will probably become like case by case basis and based on growth as well. And I think that's fine. I mean, hopefully that does happen for you. And and if that is where you want it to go. So I just think it's very individual per podcast. And the last thing I really do is like listen to the buzzwords and what other people tell us we should be doing. That's not my business. It's like the back of me. That's not my business. Like, it's like, it's, I'm always like, what does my hair look like in the back? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's not my business. So it's the same idea with buzzwords. That's not my business. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're I can't even.
I'm speechless. I don't know.
Take it, Shandy.
Just think, like, if you think
It's
of the
true,
back
yeah.
of you,
Yes.
like, does my arse look big today? I don't see it. I mean, if you want to look at it and don't enjoy it, not my problem.
I say if you don't like it, don't look at it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I will say, so we've recently got a comment on Spotify that told us to stop giggling, and we were like, never. That is like most of the fun of our podcast. We're obviously not for you.
Yeah,
Sorry, can you lighten up a little bit too? If we ever get that
Yeah.
episode, I'm gonna block the person. Like, that's the joy in you guys talking. And I think it is as we keep, Jen, you are very humorous as well, but Megan's just got these one-liners that are just like, how could you not laugh at that while recording?
Like, if you don't like the giggling, Karen, stop listening. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it is not, again.
There's so many other podcasts to listen to if you don't like the
Yeah.
giggling, but like,
True crime is all the rage. Go listen to that. You won't be
I hope they're
laughing
not
there.
giggling during that.
Right. Right.
That's the one that makes them laugh.
That's right. That's a Karen problem.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I need to take a deep breath here.
You're going to get it on this episode. Why did you guys have so much fun?
Yeah.
I hope so. Bring it on. No, like, I love any comment's a good comment in my eyes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I said to Jen. No, like, thanks for listening. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate
Yeah.
the download.
Yeah, honestly, thanks for listening. Yeah, 100%. All right. So you have, of course, the title of your podcast is Travel Mug Podcast. So of course you guys have traveled a ton. But of course there's also places that you still have on your travel bucket list. So what would you say is like the number one place or the place that you think like, yeah, I want to go to next?
This is hard. I think, like, in terms of like go to next, I have no idea. I've been flying by the seat of my pants this entire year.
And she's flown nowhere by
and
the seat of her
No,
pants.
that is to the Yukon.
Exactly.
Oh, right. Oh, she
I
did.
listen.
Rude.
Rude indeed.
I have not left Canada this year, and I probably will not leave Canada this year, but that doesn't mean I haven't traveled. I have gone to several places. I would say like high on my list right now is Portugal. So we're considering that for next year.
Are you going when I'm going?
I don't know.
Okay,
We're
we'll
like,
see you there.
we'll see you there. We're we've been considering going like down south for the first time, like a resort type vacation, and I have not been able to find a resort that I like that's in my budget. So I don't know about that. And then we've also been I'm a Disney person. I'm a full-fledged like Disney adult and I own that. So Tokyo Disney is very high on my list. So hopefully that happens in the next couple of years. But of course it is quite far from the east coast of Canada and expensive to get there. So that's going to take a little while for
If you had
for
all
us.
the money in the world, is like, if money wasn't an issue, is
Hmm.
that Tokyo trip the one that you would take right now? Or is there one that's like, oh, if I had all the money, I would do it?
I mean, there's a lot of things that if I had all the money in the world, I would do, but I definitely want to get to like New Zealand and Australia and Japan, and it is just so far for us and expensive at just the getting there part. So I know that we will get there, and it's like you need a couple of weeks. Like, you can't
Mhm.
just fly there for a week. You really need to be there like 2-3 weeks. And so that just hasn't worked out for us lately. So I will get there. But yeah, all the money in the world would help, but it still wouldn't.
Doesn't shorten time.
It doesn't shorten the time. Yeah, unless I'm inventing time travel. So
Well, if you had all the money in the world, you wouldn't need to work, so you wouldn't worry about time.
no, that
Yes,
is true. But
exactly.
I do still have a house and 3 animals.
Well,
so-
just saying, if you had all the money, you'd have a house manager, a dog caretaker. You
Yeah.
could go to
You're
Australia,
not
New
thinking
Zealand.
big enough. Yeah.
We're giving you a genie wish. Like, we're
Okay, all
sprinkling
right.
the Cinderella magic fairy dust. Come on, like, you're the Disney one.
Okay,
So.
okay.
That's right.
Amazing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Meghan,
Yeah.
let's reverse it. So if you had all the money in the world, where are you going first? And then what's your more realistic travel?
I would say first for me would be Scandinavia.
Ooh.
I really want to go there. It's very expensive. I seem to be drawn to the most expensive places on earth, and I don't know why. But yeah, I would say Scandinavia. Also Japan. You won't see me at Tokyo Disney, but we won't run into each other there. But I may see you somewhere else in the country. But Japan also is actually on my list as well. I love the order of things. Like, I've been watching some YouTube videos, and it looks so safe, and the food looks amazing. But yeah, I would say Scandinavia with all the money in the world, and then realistically Italy and Portugal with the rest of the planet, I guess. Those 2 spots are high on my list, and I do intend, hopefully, universe willing, to go to Portugal next year for my 50th, or just shortly after that. So that's the plan. I
Wow.
know.
Oh my gosh, I feel like a lot of Canadians, the interest in Japan has significantly increased for 2025. Maybe
Interesting.
because our good old WestJet is now flying there. That's
Yeah.
why I think it's increased.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's other reasons. But for you, you'd have to go. I'm going to test my geography. You have to get to the west of Canada and fly that way around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One
Exactly.
perk
Yeah.
I finally have on this side.
Yeah.
You've got the eastern. Because I'm
Yeah.
actually going to fly through Halifax soon, too. So
Are
I
you?
flew through Halifax to come back here,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
such a lovely little airport. It's very calming. Like, we were in Amsterdam last year, and the airport to leave, it was overwhelming, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
And then we got home to Halifax. I'm like, might as well be empty here. Like, it was
Yeah.
beautiful. I was
Yeah.
like, this is what I'm talking about. So large international airports I find to be a little, like, overwhelming with all
Yeah.
the different lines. There seems to be
Yeah.
way more lines. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
So
going to
much
ask
going on.
for a travel tip then. I have a 6-hour layover in Halifax. Do you think it's enough time to leave the airport and even eat one meal out, or just enjoy
Yes.
the... Okay.
It's probably a good solid, I do want to be, maybe 35 minutes to downtown.
In good traffic.
In
Yeah.
good traffic.
Yeah.
And then you could definitely go to the boardwalk and be back. But that is if you leave the second you land and come back, because the population here, I mean, it's good, but it's grown, and it's a lot busier than it used to be. And rush hour here is actually a thing now. Just according to the day, what time of day you're going to be here?
I think I land at... I don't know. It's evening. I think it's like 6 to midnight, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's not the safest thing to
A bit
go down
darker,
by
but-
myself. Also, I know I'm like Jen, where I get travel anxiety if I'm not back by a certain time. I'm not rushing anything, especially not for another 6-hour flight. So
Yeah,
Okay,
that would give me
I'll
anxiety
consider
too.
it.
I'd maybe just
just
Eat at
chill
this-
at this calming airport you speak of.
That's
You
right.
can get a lobster roll at the airport.
Ooh, yeah.
There you go. There's a great Mexican place there too.
We walked
Okay.
past there actually, and we were thinking about getting
Yeah,
that,
it
but
was
we
good.
ended up getting, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a nice lobster roll. It was very, very nice.
Very East Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
Meghan, you've mentioned before to me that you like to do a lot of weekend getaways, and also this concept of spend money while you can, Airbnb over mortgages. Can you share with us this kind of concept of these smaller trips that give you that high of travel that you like?
Yeah, definitely. again, love having a 9 to 5. We do live in an apartment with cheap rent. We are very responsible, so we do save in case we do find a house that we want, but that's separate from our travel savings. We also have travel savings where we put money in weekly. And so we are doing all the things, but also with 4 weeks of vacation a year, you can't realistically Mhm. have all the breaks that you probably need. And a weekend, I don't know who invented the 2-day weekend, but I'd like a word with them. And that's not enough time either, don't get me wrong. But I also find that if we don't break this cycle of going to work every day of our lives, what are we doing this for? And yeah, we could probably have a house by now, if I'm being really honest, in terms of the money that we spent on weekend getaways. But also the quality of life I want comes from making my life different, even if it's just 2 days a week. We don't do it all the time, but I'm going to be honest, we probably some years do 11 or 12 Airbnbs outside of our 4 weeks of vacation. So we really just try to make things different. My husband's goal in life is for Saturday not to look like a Wednesday. And I
I
think
love
that,
that.
yeah, so I think even if that just means a glass of wine on the patio on the weekend when we wouldn't on a Wednesday, some weekends it's just that. But other weekends we, squirrel away our little overnight bag and we go and spend time at someone else's house like Airbnb. So I think it's just a matter of what you want for your life, but what I want for my life is something that looks different. And my mother doesn't really understand it. She is a housewife her whole life and she raised us. She's an incredible, incredible mother, but she's gotten to the point where in her life where being home is exactly what she wants. And so she's like, you're addicted to Airbnb. And I'm like, why are you using the word addicted? Like it's got a negative connotation, but what I'm addicted to is living my life. And making my life enjoyable. And if that means a little extra money out the door to do so while not having a house, pets, or children, then that's the way I want to spend my time. And I certainly don't judge anyone for the way they spend their time. That's what free will is, but that's what
Yeah.
I want to do.
Wait, what's that phrase again? You don't want a Saturday to look like a Wednesday? I like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I never really thought of it that way until he actually said it out loud because he's like, what are we gonna do today? And I don't know. I'm like, let's just like chill, let's watch some TV. He's like, that's a Monday to Friday thing. Like that's a Monday to Thursday thing. He's like, what are we gonna do today that looks different than that? And while
Nice.
I'm a homebody and sometimes that's still all I want to do, I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay, you're right. Like, let's try to make today
Mhm.
at least a little different. And sometimes it's just a very small thing, but
I love that because there's two dichotomies when it comes to spending money, right? Like it's either you're squirreling away your whole life saving for your retirement, saving for your future for traveling, but then some people are not lucky enough to get to there. So maybe, like you don't have as many years as you think you do. So but then on the other hand, if you're spending all of your money and you do get to retirement age and you don't have that plan set ahead, then you're also kind of stuck in that
yeah,
position. So it's kind of finding that happy medium, but then also no choice is the wrong choice. You can choose to save some money and you can choose to travel or whatever you like to do, and it's totally like you said, it's free will and you can choose what you want to choose. And that's, I think, one thing when we bring it back to what we were talking about earlier about social media and how you have these people that are trying to make everything controversial, two things can be right at once. Like it's
yeah.
okay to choose whichever one and go down whichever path you want to go down.
That's exactly right. And I think too, I feel comfort for me and also for my husband that we are still saving for all the things, but that's a luxury because of other choices that we made. We have super
Hmm.
cheap rent and that's how we're able to do the things. Now, if someday we find our dream house and move there, there's going to be less weekends away. There's going to be more staycations. And that will be a choice we make at that point. But for right now, and I mean, he's over 50 and I'm soon going to be 50. So a mortgage is almost going to be out of reach soon anyway, in terms of a 25-year amortization or whatever the kids say. So I think that for us, this is what we want to do now, but that could change in 5 years, which is also cool.
Hey,
I
Jen, you're one of those kids that may have said amortization before,
I
right? Let's talk about
writing about real estate is literally my job. I write about real estate for a living. So yes, I write amortization a lot. And I also come from a personal finance and blog background. So that has been kind of my thing this entire time, is balancing everything and not going too hard one way or the other. You can't literally spend all of your money on travel. Like it's just not responsible. I mean, you could, but you really shouldn't. And there is like a future that you do need to set yourself up for, but I think that my like personal ethos, and I didn't make this up, it's literally a book, but like die with zero. And so the idea is to save up, to spend money on these experiences that I really want to have, but also plan for whatever retirement I want to look like. And I also, my stepmom passed away almost 5 years ago now, and she had like put off a lot of trips. She was a travel agent. She loved to travel, and she had put off, I specifically remember like seeing Billy Joel in New York was like one of the things that she always wanted to do. And we're literally an hour and a half flight from New York. We're very close. And she never got to do that. She booked the trip after she got sick with cancer and was unable to go. And so I remember that all the time. It's like, okay, like I really need to like put this in perspective, and things that are within reach I want to do, and things that are not within reach yet, let's plan for them and save for them.
I
I
agree.
love that. And
I
you,
love that,
maybe
yeah.
you can share, Jen, different to Megan, as you shared, Megan, you have an apartment that's really flexible. It allows you some travel. But Jen, you definitely have a few more responsibilities at home that add some complexities to the get up and go and leave for a weekend.
Yeah, so we own a home. My husband and I own a home. It's a giant old house from 1850. So it's yeah, we just spent $25,000 drilling a well. In case you want to know what home ownership is like.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I just need to give like a visual. East Coast homes and architecture is just so beautiful. And I think your home is older than Canada. Am I correct?
Good
Yeah,
question.
It is.
1867 is
It
Canada.
is. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So
Predates this country.
it's
Well,
I
not
bet
not
it's
te-
gorgeous.
not
but
technically, but the technical formation, I
Yes,
The
suppose.
actual, yeah, because the
Yeah.
eastern part of Canada definitely has some older structures and
Yeah, yeah.
establishments.
So yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's a project, and that is a choice that my husband and I made. And we also have 3 animals. We have 2 dogs and a cat. So that makes things like traveling more challenging, especially for like weekend getaways. We don't really tend to do that because it is so much work to like set ourselves up to go away. We're lucky that we have a really great house sitter that stays here with our animals while we're traveling, but like she can't live here every weekend. That's just, I can, yeah. I would love that, but it just doesn't work. So, so that it's just a little bit more challenging. So we tend to do more like week trips or like 4 or 5 day trips than like weekend getaways.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
What's next for Travel Mug Podcast? What's the dream? Have we thought a year or 2 ahead? If could grant you a wish again, what would it be? Because
Another
I know
genie,
you've
another
talked.
Cinderella.
Yeah, I know you've talked that the viewership has increased and your following has increased, and that has, outside of having fun, has also given you some feedback and just let you know that, yeah, people are listening. Is there a space where you would love to see it more monetized? Is it something like more guests or more episodes? Do you have any dreams?
If I had a magic wish, I would love, obviously, who doesn't want more money? Like, amazing. So I like amazing, but I think I would all like love to watch the show just grow and reach more people, like even outside of the monetization. We get emails every like Monday of like, this is how many downloads your podcast gets. And it's been great to like watch that grow, but sometimes I need to like check myself and be like, wow, like that many people or that many times that someone listened to us that many times, like that's
Weird
wild.
when it's not, you don't see that number of people in front of you.
Yeah. You know, we're not seeing like 1,300 people standing there, but they're
No.
allegedly out there.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
saw a meme once that social media has ruined us because you get 15 likes on something and you're disappointed. But if you met 15 people that's like
Yeah.
in a day out in the wild that said, I love your dress, you'd be like, holy moly, I'm the most popular kid on the planet. But social media has ruined us. For like 3 likes is actually amazing. But if you don't have more and more and more and more, then what are you even doing? And so I did message Jen actually just this week, and I told her, like, because of the stage of life that I'm at, and I don't necessarily have an entrepreneurial spirit, I did tell her if the day comes that she wants to take this somewhere else and has more time to dedicate to it and wants to really like make it her focus, I'm okay to step away, because I think that I would never want to hold her back. This was her dream to start with, and I love doing it and I'll continue to do it. But like I mentioned passion project for me because that is the way that I feel about it. I have, what is it that people say on TikTok? They built their For You page brick by brick. I've built this life for myself brick by brick, and I like how it's going. But if she wants more, because she obviously we're different people, then I would also be okay with that too.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
I'm so giving, you guys.
Oh God, I know. But I don't see this, like, I don't see this project without her. I mean, that's what I told her when we were texting. But there may be a time where I have more time to like delve into this. And I know we did call it a passion project. I do consider it also a business, and the podcast doesn't make like a ton of money. We have made money doing it, but actually what has made me the most money is learning these skills and using them to freelance. And
Nice.
so while, directly we don't always get paid for the work we do on the project, I have learned so much, and then I have used those skills to make money. So even if the thing's not directly, rolling in the bucks, doesn't mean that it's not worth your time.
Exactly.
Business wise. Yeah.
And learning a new skill is worth more than money, really, because like you said, you can translate it into something else and it can become something even bigger, and you have so much opportunity with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you, I've heard some ads, if you're open to sharing, because I think anyone who's interested in starting a podcast, and Shandy and I are, the ad space, is this something that's coming to you naturally? We personally host our what's it called, podcast on Spotify for creators, which has now awesomely created something similar to the YouTube monetization program, where if you reach a certain number of plays and audience, that you can enter the ad space. So is that something you're similarly doing, or you're reaching out to brands are reaching out to you?
Yeah, so we host our podcast on Buzzsprout, but like very similar situation is they offer the option to enroll in Buzzsprout ads. And so when ads are available, you can go in and listen to them and decide if they're right for your podcast and your audience. You do have to have a certain amount of downloads within like a 30-day period in order to participate in the program. And I will say, like, the ads don't pay a lot, but it's extremely passive. Like, I really just go in and click, accept ad, and it runs. I don't know exactly how it works on like the other side of like doing the ads. But we just get paid per like monetized download. And yeah, like I said, super, super passive. It basically helps us cover our hosting fees, which are, that's really great. I love that. We've done a couple of sponsored episodes, and obviously like a lot more work, but it did work out pretty well. I think we're really selective about what brands we work with. I'm never going to recommend something that we haven't actually tried or experienced. And so we get a lot of like people pitching us to our email and being like, oh, like, do you want to work with us? And we say no most of the time, to be honest, because I can't just tell people go buy this thing when I've never used it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Or I just delete it before she can see it in the inbox, because that's how
Meggan and I differ fundamentally on email management, and so a shared inbox is a challenge that we have to work through. But
okay, wait, I have a quick question, because I'm an inbox zero person. I file everything or delete it. If it's in the inbox, it's a to-do list. And I feel like, Meggan, that's a yes. Same.
I think me and Jen are the same on this one.
don't live my life in chaos, people. I live my life I live in order. And
Guys,
maybe
I have
that's
like 7 emails that I'm managing. Like,
me too.
I don't think you want to know how many I have.
Literally, I have like 10,000 emails.
Yeah, I think so too.
Probably like unread emails.
much like packing 2 minutes before you leave, I would simply pass away. And I also, the other day, I texted her and I was coy and I didn't mean to be, but I'm like, I'm going to go through, there's people reaching out to be guests and I'm going to get back to them and then file them and we'll discuss next time we do quarterly planning. She's like, great. But I got in there and I started ripping and tearing. I'm just like, I don't need to know how many downloads we had in 2021. Like literally that was in there. And I'm just
Megan,
like,
yeah.
so then I
delete file, boom, boom, da 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 da.
and then it was done and I thought, I know her anxiety about this. I probably should have told her. So then I felt really bad. So then I texted her ever so gently and I'm like, just so you know, I burned through the inbox and she didn't have time to look at it. So she looked at it at the end of the day and she texted me and she's like, what have you done?
I was horrified. I was going through the trash. Like, is there anything in here we need?
Was there?
Yes.
No, there wasn't.
Oh,
There wasn't.
I was just going to
I
say
am
this
the
built
same
trust
way.
between you two, but now I don't know after the trash comment.
There wasn't
I don't
anything
even
in
know
there
if
she needed.
Shandy has our email. I think she
I have it, but I
You have
trust
the
you to look through
password.
it because I
Yeah.
have 3 of my own emails that I don't look through. So
No, I look at it
I don't
all the
need a
time.
fourth?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not. No,
I
like
think
I have my personal one, and I think I'm with Jen when I probably have at least over 1,000 messages on there that I'm like it's spam too, you know. But it's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
like
Then delete
what
it.
if? Yeah, but what if I need something from
You
like
don't.
2018?
You
And
don't.
that was like my receipt from my
I
flight
literally do.
from Malaysia or something. You know, you never know.
I looked at an old email yesterday.
Guys, I
for-
just deleted a bunch of emails, like thousands of emails from 2020 onward because my Mac was like not syncing properly. So I thought that would help. And I was like,
Me
well,
and Jen are like,
it's gone. It's gone.
no,
Okay.
no.
Anyway, I think some of us are getting some anxiety, so let's chill it out in different ways. We have a couple quick rapid fire travel questions, and then
Sure.
we want people to learn about you a little bit more. So, favorite Canadian destination? First thing that comes to mind.
For me, I'm going to say Montreal. I recently was there back just like a month or 2 months ago, and I hadn't been there for a while, but like, I'm still dreaming about the food, and I think that is why that has popped into my head. But
Okay.
also like the history and the scenery. I really love Montreal. But I think I'm just hungry right now, and I really want some dumplings.
I really love Montreal too. It's the closest thing, Quebec, and old Quebec City and old Montreal, I think are the closest things we have to Europe here. And I love the vibes there. And I would say though, if I had to probably pick, I really enjoyed Ottawa. It's
Okay.
Halifax-ish, Halifax on maybe a little bit of steroids, but I loved it there and I really enjoyed my time there.
Mhm.
Okay, I
Cool.
love you both,
Cool.
but these are rapid fire. So
Oh, yeah.
just get
Sorry.
quick
Yeah.
answers.
All right. Jeez, let's go there.
Gosh. Okay.
It's
Anna's
opposite of
type A
what
is
we
showing.
talked about. We always want a nice person who talks on a podcast. Okay,
Not
most
right now.
underrated place you've been.
New Brunswick.
Ooh, ooh.
The Yukon.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, now I kind of want to dive in. No, future episode, I think. Okay,
Okay.
and go to travel snack or drink in your like. What's your favorite travel snack or drink that you always bring?
I'm going to give a very Canadian answer. I always pack Crispers on my
Ooh. What
when I
flavor?
travel.
Yeah.
Ranch.
Yes, nice.
I'm a psycho who loves to eat, but I do not pack snacks. And I'm going to say a coffee beverage of any sort.
Yes. Also a latte for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that fast enough or?
Yes. Thank you.
No, do it again.
I'm going to remember this we're going to have a future episode. I know it because there's
Yeah.
so much we could still talk about. And New Brunswick and Yukon, that is going to be the first thing we talk about next time.
We're here. You know how to find us. Does everybody
well,
else want to know how to find us?
I was going to say, we know how to find you, but can you tell us, our listeners, where they can find you online?
Yeah. So we're on Instagram and Facebook at Travel Mug Podcast. We have a website, travelmugpodcast.com. I post on my TikTok, which is Will Save for Travel. So you can find some of our podcast clips there as well.
And YouTube as well.
And YouTube. Good point.
Travel Mug
Meggan.
Podcast.
Yes.
Now, people don't always love it though, because on YouTube they think we're going to do something like visually pleasing, and it's literally just us talking. So but some people like to watch and listen instead of just listen. So it's just another option for people.
Yeah. Then you can see our pretty faces if you're on YouTube.
Gorgeous faces.
Yeah.
Gorgeous faces. Awesome. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you both. We lots of giggles, which I love. And
can't wait to hear the feedback.
Great. Yeah, I can't wait too, Karen, if you're listening. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We are not your travel friend. We are the Where She Builds podcast. I'm Anna, your travel friend, Anna, joined always by my partner and co-host, Coach Shandy. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ciao for now.
See you next time.